When I started studying for civil service exams, I would come across this kind of problem, and during the test, I would immediately get nervous and wouldn't even know where to start solving it. And today I'm going to show you step by step how to solve these two geometry problems. But first I want you to try to solve them on your own to see how you're doing with this type of problem, and then I'll show you the step-by-step solution. So try to solve it, then tell me in the comments what you thought, and now I'll show you the solution. Come with me. So were you able to solve it on your own? Tell me in the comments what you thought. I'm going to show you the solution now. Take a look. Here we have, right, looking at the figure, we have two triangles. This larger triangle, which is triangle ABC, and this smaller triangle, which is triangle CDE. Looking at this larger triangle, and then we already have two angles in this triangle, which are the 50-degree angle, the 60-degree angle, and we still need to find this angle here, which I'll represent as Y. Now, what you have to know by heart is this: the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is always equal to 180 degrees always, okay? Whenever you add up the three interior angles of a triangle, it has to be equal to 180 degrees. So, for us to find the value of Y, which is this angle here, let's take 50 degrees, which is this angle up here, add it to the other angle, which is this 60-degree angle, add it to this angle, angle Y that we want to find, and this has to be equal to 180 degrees. Solving this sum here, look, 50 plus 60 is 110. So, 110 degrees plus Y will be equal to 180 degrees. Let's take the 110 that's being added and move it to the other side, subtracting. So Y will be equal to 180 degrees minus 110, 180 degrees minus 110 degrees, that's 70 degrees. So we conclude that Y is 70. We found this angle here, got it? Well, since we want to find the value of X, what is this angle X? Let's look now at this smaller triangle. We also already have two angles in this smaller triangle. This angle is 75 and the other angle is 70, and we want to find the value of X. Since we already know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees, let's add these three angles, 70 degrees plus 75 degrees plus the angle X that we want to find. This has to be equal to 180 degrees. 70 plus 75 is 145. So 145 degrees plus X equals 180 degrees. Let's take the 145 and move it to the other side of the equation by subtracting. X will be equal to 180 minus 145. Solving this subtraction, we conclude that X is equal to 35 degrees. Whoever got 35 got the question right, right? That's what the question was asking for, see? Determine the value of X. X is equal to 35 degrees. So, how did you solve it? Did you solve it differently from me? Let me know in the comments. Well, let's go to the second problem, which is this one. Look. Same way, it's to determine the value of X. Well, the first step to solve this problem is to analyze the figure. Looking at this triangle, we have here an angle of 50 degrees in the triangle, and we have these two little lines here. On these two sides, this means that these two sides are equal. That is, this triangle is an isosceles triangle. It has two equal sides and the two base angles are also equal. So, since this angle here is 50 degrees necessarily, since it's an isosceles triangle, this other angle here also has to be 50 degrees. If it's an isosceles triangle, the two equal sides mean the two base angles are also equal, okay? But professor, the base is up there. Yeah, just imagine it's flipped, it's upside down. The base is this side here. So these two base angles are equal. Well, if these two base angles are both 50 degrees, and we've already learned that the sum of the internal angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Since we already have 50 plus 50, that's 100 degrees, and to reach 180 degrees, we don't even need to do the math, right? It's missing 80 degrees. So what do we conclude? That the other angle of the triangle, this angle right here, is 80 degrees. Now pay attention here. If we take this spot where we have this 70-degree angle and this 50-degree angle and extend this angle, it will form a straight angle. A straight angle has 180 degrees, which is half a circle. All right? Since this total angle that I marked in red is 180 degrees, and we already have, look, 70 plus 50, how many degrees are missing there to reach 180 degrees? Well, 70 plus 50 is 120 degrees. From 120 to 180, there are 60 degrees missing. So this angle that's missing here, look, is equal to 60 degrees. Well, the next step now is to analyze this triangle here. Look, this triangle already has a 60-degree angle, which we just found. There's this angle down here, which is a right angle, so this angle is 90 degrees. And since we already know that the sum of the internal angles of a triangle is 180 degrees, 90 plus 60 is 150 degrees. From 150 to 180, there's 30 degrees left. All right? So we conclude that this missing angle here is equal to 30 degrees. Now let's go. We want to find the value of x. Looking at this angle here, C, which I marked in red again, we also have a straight angle. This straight angle is half of a circle, which is 180 degrees. In other words, if we add 30 plus 80 plus 2x, it has to equal 180 degrees. So shall we do that? Here, look, 30 degrees plus 80 degrees plus 2x has to equal 180 degrees. 30 plus 80 is equal to 110, so 110 plus 2x is 180 degrees. Let's take the 110 and move it to the other side of the equation, subtracting. So 2x equals 180 minus 110. Solving this subtraction, 2x will be equal to 70 degrees. Since we want to find the value of x, let's take the 2 and move it to the other side of the equation, dividing. It's already multiplying, so move it to the other side, dividing. So x will be equal to 70 degrees divided by 2. 70 divided by 2 is equal to 35 degrees. That means the value of x in this figure is 35 degrees. Whoever got 35 aced this problem. Now tell me in the comments how you solved it. Did you solve it differently? Share in the comments. We finished another explanation. If you enjoyed it, please like the video to support Professor Robson's channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. There are many helpful lessons for your test. Remember to share with your friends on social media. Best wishes from Professor Robson Lyers. I hope to see you in the next lesson. See you. Bye.